Hi everyone, welcome to the What's New with IBP series presented by Flexso Supply Chain. I am Shreyas Kulkarni.
I'm Abdes Shukri.
And today we are in the month of August and we will be going through the new features launched by SAP in the 2608 release. We have picked a few topics out of the many features that SAP has introduced in this version. We will be going over some AI topics. We will be going over some enhancements made in the field of order-based planning and also planner workspace. With this, I would like to give the floor to Abdes to start over it.
Thank you. So I'll first start with talking about AI-assisted scenario planning. So what is AI-assisted scenario planning? So the AI chatbot from SAP called Joule, you can interact with it and ask it a lot of different things. So like for instance, you can ask it delete an order from a certain vendor for a certain period of time. You can ask it to exclude a vendor from a certain planning run, or to look up stuff like shortages or show available stock, or even ask it to start a planning run. So SAP Joule can then interact with IBP itself, and it can, depending on your prompt from before, can it create a certain scenario. So it can create a scenario where it excludes a certain vendor from your planning run. So let's have a closer look at when you would use this and why. So first, you would use this to have a faster response time to disruptions within your supply chain. You would also use AI-assisted scenario planning to perform what-if analysis, to evaluate the impact of sudden changes, and to explore alternative options than the current ones you have. So let's make this a bit concrete and look at an example. So here here we are using SAP Joule, and we're asking it to delete orders from a certain supplier at a certain location at a certain time, and in a certain version, within a certain version. So we are asking, as you can see, our question is very, very specific, and you're trying to provide SAP Joule with all the information you think it will need. So if we prompt Joule with this prompt, then it will first give you a small overview of all the parameters it extracted from your prompt. So here you can see it has extracted the scenario, the source location, the start and end date, and as well the product group that you were talking about. So it will ask you to confirm these parameters. So once you confirm the parameters that SAP Joule presents you with, it will go ahead and it will perform the deletion of the orders. And then afterwards, it will give you a small overview with all the data related to the deletion. So here, for instance, it shows you the source location that it used, the amount of orders it deleted, the product that was deleted, the product that the deletion is related to, the location. For instance, here as well, you can see it's related to 580 kgs. And SAP Joule also thinks a bit ahead. So as you can see, it already shows you the constrained supply button at the bottom. You would like to do this because if you would not constrain your supply plan now, the next planning run would suggest new purchase requisitions for that supplier. Okay, so if we then press on the constrained supply button, SAP Joule tells us it needs a bit more information from us. So it needs a time granularity and the numeric duration of the time period. And so we answer it with 6 weeks. And then SAP Joule asks us to confirm again all the parameters. And then if you confirm, it will start performing the constraining, and then it will tell you the constraining was successful. So this is one example of how you can use AI-assisted scenario planning. Now I'll give the floor back to Shreyas.
Thank you, Abdes. I think it's a very interesting feature. From what I can see, it's literally like you are having another companion with whom you are performing your scenario planning. Yeah. So definitely a wonderful feature. Moving ahead, I would like to talk about the time-dependent yield, which is an enhancement made in the order-based planning side. As we all know, so far we have been maintaining the output coefficient for a particular production source of supply as a static value. However, in reality, these yields are always subject to changes. It could be, for example, you have a new process in line and the machine takes time for it to build up its yield, or it also could be that you are in a maintenance window and during that period your yield is much lesser than usual, or it could also be that your yields are sometimes temperature dependent or seasonal. So, this is something that you would like to take into account when you are making your plans, right. So, with this release you will be able to maintain your output coefficient values as time dependent. How does this help? Basically is when you do your planning, the planning algorithm takes this into account and then your component demand is based on that particular time dependent output coefficient. So, through this we make sure that the plan that you see in IBP system is very close to what you will actually be seeing in the production floor. So, a very good feature to make sure that you have less gap between these two sides.
Yeah.
Giving it back to you, Abdes.
Thank you. So it's a very nice feature to show that the gap between reality and IBP is getting smaller.
Indeed.
So I will now talk about a few enhancements within Planner Workspaces. So SAP has this time around shown a new introduction of the map feature. So a new component type has been added. This feature displays key figure values on a geographical map, and the values are shown using a heat map as well, so to show the intensity of the key figure values themselves. So multiple key figures can be shown on the geographical map, but only one can be displayed at a time. A small example here. Here you can see at the top your Planner Workspace filters are taken into account, so your time filter, your product group filter. Then in the left top corner of the map itself, you can see 3 options. So you can see none, which just shows a blank map, or you can show unfulfilled demand or revenue at risk. So these are the 2 key figures that were selected, and at the bottom you can see the values for the heat map. So here immediately you can see when you look at revenue at risk that the UK is the place with the most revenue at risk. So that maybe indicates that you have to take a closer look at that region. The second feature I want to talk about is in-focus custom alerts. This new feature is introduced to help planners organize the alerts subscriptions that they have. So if we have a look here, we can see that a lot of alerts are present, and this is maybe difficult for a planner to know what alert should I prioritize. And SAP has tried to help them by introducing the severity. You can now assign severity to an alert. So you have the option between low, medium, and high. And this is then taken into account, and it divides your alerts up into 2 big groups, to in focus and into the other group. The in focus group corresponds to a high alert, high severity, and as you can see here, the planner immediately knows it needs to look at the demand shortages alert. And the others then contains the medium and low severity alerts, and this helps then the planner organize and structure the way he or she should tackle the alerts themselves. Now I'm giving it back to Shreyas.
Thank you. No, perfect. I feel with these features it's always helpful when planners can visualize their data on a high level, and then with the alerts they can know what to focus on and go into the detail level as required. We will be having our last topic for today, which is lead time intelligence, another AI feature that has been introduced in this release. Similar to the yields, even lead times are dynamic in nature. Now this could be due to a lot of factors, as delays from the supplier's end, or raw material availability, or just delay in transportation, right? And this needs to be taken into account when you are planning your downstream. There will always be a gap between your master data's lead time and what's actually happening in reality. To be able to do this, there were a lot of steps that the planners needs to take, starting with extraction of the tables, having manual calculations of the variance, and then taking this into account in the downstream planning. With the introduction of AI, of course, AI takes up quite a few of steps in this process, wherein basically it will start off, you will get a notification saying, okay, there is a lead time change. You will then be able to choose it and act upon it, and you will go into the Joule chatbot, wherein it will give you a proposal. It will first show you a detection in the lead time, right? And then it would have already made an analysis and give you a proposal as to what can be done. As you can see in the example here, there is a recommendation to change the recommended safety stock. Now, based on this, you can do a couple of actions. Either you choose to confirm it, or you can choose to dismiss it, or you can also choose to analyze it. Of course, what comes with this is also a short summary of what you will be able to see as a proposal. When you click on the analyze, you will be able to see how the lead times have been changing on a historical trend purpose. So, with this it will make it more easier for the planners to take a decision or not. So, with this we conclude our series for today. I hope you all enjoyed it, and
We hope to see you again in
we hope to see you
26
again.
to 11.
Feel free to reach out to us on our website or LinkedIn. Thank you and bye bye.
Bye.